Hello everyone. So if you've been following along at all with me, you know that I just started my business, NextGentix. Go ahead and give that a look if you haven't already. Go to see how it works and put in how much your time is worth. You can basically see if something that we can integrate with can save you time. So give that a chance. And basically, all I've been doing is learning tech, learning AI, and I thought, what a better way to get people interested and, um, kind of on my line and um, understand what I can offer than to start a YouTube video, a YouTube channel. So this is the first implementation of that. And if you have any questions, comments, leave a comment below. If you want me to dive into anything deeper, leave a comment. If you think I'm doing something wrong, know I'm doing something wrong, leave a comment. Um, but today, without further ado, I'd like to teach you, if you are tech literate at all, if you've ever been in a terminal, if you've ever touched a command line prompt, then, you know, I think it's time that you know a little bit about GitHub. And so today we're not only going to skip the boring, like, install an application aspect of GitHub, we're going to go right into the complicated Python command lines and Anaconda environments. So if that sounds interesting to you, just keep watching. And if you have no idea what I said and have no interest, then yeah, I'll talk to you later. Anyway, without further ado, I need to transcribe some videos. So let's go ahead and start with that. Transcription. Um, I basically, here's the deal. I have a bunch of YouTube videos that I've clicked save to watch later, and I have not watched them. I don't have enough time. I've been working, and I've been focusing on my new company. So what better way, though, to keep up my learning and my education, my YouTube university, than to meeting minutes, than to transcribe the audio from the YouTube and put it in like a large language model database, right? So that's what I'm going to do today. Robust, efficient, low latency speech to text library with advanced voice activity detection, uh, wearables, microphone. I mean, this has 17,000 downloads, so let's look at this one. It uses OpenAI Whisper. This implementation is up to 4 times faster than OpenAI Whisper for the same accuracy while using less memory. Wow. Oh, quantization on both CPU and GPU. So here's the deal. CPU is basically computational power, and GPU is graphics power, but you can run computational power using your graphics power card, your GPU. So this is called the README. You can get to this by clicking readme.md, and it will bring you to the same page here. It looks like Python 3.9 or greater is required, and GPU. So we're going to need these packages and some Python script. Okay. So basically, it's called Faster Whisper from PyPy, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So first of all, I'm going to grab my command prompt, Miniconda, and as you can see, I have basically everything. If you want to download a Git, like Git Bash is literally for Git, right? GitHub. If you guys haven't looked at this stuff, I encourage you to just research it really fast. It seems intimidating when you're trying to get a project done, like, oh, I need to transcribe videos and I can't see it. It's all online, it's all tech. I get you. I don't even know what Git Bash really is. I've never used it. But in this case, I know that every programmer kind of does things different. So whether it's pronunciations or approaches to complete tasks, it's engineering at its core. And if you think that you can solve problems, then you should get started. And I recommend you start simple, right? Start with the basics because everything is going to build on the ground. It's not like you just start hanging stuff and then it appears, right? You want to build from the ground up. So I'm going to use Miniconda. I'll leave a link in the description for that. And you can see I've used this a lot. Conda, info, envs will show me all my environments. So you can see I have like Reactor and a web, N8N environments, a job applier that I was working on. Transcribe is what we're going to be working on today. Workflows for different various reasons. So let's first of all delete this environment. So while I describe environments, conda, I think it's remove, negative name, transcribe all. I think this is the command. It could correct me. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's remove this environment because I'm going to recreate it. And I'm definitely going to use AI to help me here. I'm not just going to show you how to do this and be like, yep, just go type this in. I really want this to kind of be context for you in like what is possible on the computer, right? So conda, info, envs. This same list here is now not showing transcribe, right? So conda, let's create one. Conda create negative n transcribe. And we're going to do a Python version of 3.9. Okay, so while this is running, I'm going to show you how I would have done this using AI, not knowing anything. I need to install, let's do, I wonder if I can text to speech while running all of this stuff. Voice access. I'm going to install a GitHub repository, and I need to install Miniconda or Python, but in this case, let's use Miniconda. Let's create an environment named transcribe and give it Python version 3.9. Let's hit yes here. The URL from GitHub we will be cloning is and let's get this link here. Faster whisper. Basically, you go to code. Now you can download zip, and then you can unzip that, and you have basically all of these files are going to be in your file system. I'm going to git clone whisper, and with this, it's basically just keeping it in my environment. I will have actual files and all of that, but it's just going to be in here instead. So let's activate this new environment I made. Conda activate transcribe. Okay. And while that thought, let's get this link. So while that's thinking, I'm actually going to go ahead and git clone this repository here. So conda version create transcribe Python, activate transcribe, git version, git install, conda install git if you don't already have git. And then you git clone. That's what we have here. Git clone. And then we're going to cd. So cd is common directory. And basically that's just faster whisper. And now we're in this directory. So you guys need to get used to directories and file systems in order for this to make sense. But this is video one. This is just following me along while I do this real quick because I need to transcribe some videos. All right. I think That's it. It's saying install requirement text, but I'm not even sure that's in here. Oh, it is. Okay, so basically we're just installing the requirements.txt, and I'll go ahead and open that up. And that's basically just C translate and the version, Hugging Face Hub, tokenizers, Onyx runtime, AV, and TQDM, right? So if I go back to my command prompt, you can see that's what I'm installing here. C translate, Hugging Face, tokenizer, Onyx runtime, AV, and TQDM. All right. So that's installed now. And that's it from my large language model. Let's go back to this README and see what's next. Okay, runtimes, requirements 3.9, got it. GPU execution requires the following. We're not to GPU executions yet, but it will need CUDA 12 and CUDA 9. And these are basically just NVIDIA drivers. I'm not sure what they are. They're basically translators from CPU, computational CPU to GPU. All right. So pip install faster whisper. Let's do that. I think we might already have it. Okay. And then usage from faster whisper, import whisper model, model size large, run on GPU, or okay. Segments is a generator, so the transcription only starts when you iterate over it. I'm confused already. Give me a minute here while I read. The following code snippet illustrates how to run batch transcriptions on an example audio file. Batched inference pipeline.transcribe is a drop-in replacement for a whisper model transcribe. Faster distal whisper. So these are all different ways of running this thing. The library logging level can be configured. Import logging. Logging is like for just knowing what's happening behind the scenes because it can be hard to see what's going on while you're running this kind of stuff. Okay. So I'm kind of confused right now, believe it or not. I'm going to just copy this raw file and paste it here and say, how do I transcribe a YouTube video? To transcribe a YouTube video using the faster whisper, conda activate, pip install. Oh, install a YouTube downloader. You need to install the audio from the YouTube video. Use YTDLP, a popular tool for this. Download the YouTube video's audio. To extract the audio as an MP3 file, replace YouTube URL with the video's URL. All right, let's try that. So in the same environment, I'm going to pip install YTDLP, installing collected packages. Okay. And then we just need a YouTube URL here. YouTube.com. And let's go and find a nice YouTube video.
You don't have to be a VR.
And it requires the whole link. Okay. So it's downloading that. Verify PYAV installation. Faster whisper. Pip install AV. I'm pretty sure I already installed AV. Create a Python script to transcribe the audio using faster whisper. Here's an example script. Okay, so to create a Python script, I use Notepad most, if not all the time. There's also Notepad++. Let's Notepad++. And let's read this script and see what we have to change because obviously we just downloaded error fragment. Unable to continue. So it downloaded a bunch of things. Warning, YouTube. Is this the, yeah, this is the ID of the video. Some web client HTTPS formats have been skipped as they are missing a URL. YouTube is forcing Saber streaming for this client. See issues for more details. YouTube, downloading M3U8 information, testing, download got error, HTTP error 403 forbidden, unable to download format, forbidden, skipping, audio MP4. Download audio MP4. So I'm going to go to my downloads here. It doesn't look like I see audio here. Yeah, no. Okay, so back to this script here. I guess I'm not sure. I guess I'll use a native video once we figure this out instead of downloading from YouTube. Or I could just go use like an MP3 downloader. But these are the kinds of things you have to figure out on the fly when you're dealing with online information, some data. Okay, so initialize the model. This is supposed to be the audio file, I'm guessing. And then you save the transcription to a text file. And then you would run the script. So like, let's name this transcript YouTube PY on the desktop. And if you're doing a .py, it needs to be a Python file. So now I have my syntax as well. And yeah, so let's try running that. Did I exit out of my command prompt? Conda, activate, transcribe, CD desktop. Oops. Okay. Python, transcribe YouTube. And it's running. and it's transcribing audio MP3. So let's start reading some of this. User warning, package resources is deprecated as an API. See HTTPS this. The package resource package is slated for removal as early as 2025, November 30th. Refrain from using this package or pin to setup tools, less than 81. Import package resources. Package is not installed, falling back to the regular HTTP download. For better performance, install the package with pip install Hugging Face Hub or pip install hf underscore xet. That's a string. User warning. Cache system uses symlinks by default to efficiently store. Okay, that's just information on how this works. Environment variable. Okay, so I can disable the system links warning to support symlinks. Okay. You can activate the developer mode. So this just finished. 31 megabytes. Is that, where is that? No file or directory, audio MP3. Really? All of that just to tell me it did exist? So if none of this is making sense, that's good because it doesn't to me either. Let's put that in the chat. The large language model, the AI. Okay, so obviously the script is trying to transcribe audio MP3, but the file doesn't exist in your working directory. So let's find a video. You know, I really wanted to do YouTube videos. Pip install. Already satisfied, right? Because I installed it. Literally, we just need to paste this URL. Okay. As it's going to fail again. Desktop. Okay, so let's look at it. Directory. Okay, it exists now. That time, it worked. Some web client format has been skipped as they are missing a URL. YouTube is forcing Saber. Okay, so it's a warning, but it worked. So let's put this back to its original. Save. Come back here and go to the run command. And it should find MP3 on desktop now. It's thinking. Okay, it detected English with a probability of 89%. Never gonna give you up. Okay. Looks like this is working now. Obviously, later I would work on some type of automation that gets, like if I save an actual YouTube API would do this. Like if I can communicate with YouTube and every time I save a video that says watch later, it would add it to a database or a spreadsheet. And then another workflow of mine would go into that spreadsheet and then run this program. So anytime I save to watch later, I would then get like an email or an update or a notification somehow that, you know, something just got transcribed. And then I could add that transcription to my database where an AI can, grab it with a vector database and I could talk to it basically. I could ask it questions. Um, you know, I could say, with that music, never gonna what? And it would say give you up, right? Or let you down. Transcript save to transcription.txt. So dr desktop transcription.txt. I'm just finding it. It's there. It's there on the desktop. So let me go find it. Here we go. Double click. Oh, really? That's it? That's our transcript? Oh, that just seems silly. Let's try a different video. Let's try one of Nate
Hitting your
Herc's videos here. So instead of YouTube URL, we're going to have this here. And let's see if this passes. It's already been downloaded. Not converting audio. Files already target format MP3. Okay. So I'm going to go delete audio MP3 from the desktop. We're just going to run this command one more time. And now I'm getting all these errors again. Oh. Audio MP4. So here's my audio of that video I just downloaded. Let's make sure it contains
So you're building with
audio.
AI, but
Okay, it contains audio. And then, so it's audio MP3, right? We're gonna properties MP3, which means we can just go back to run this, and this should transcribe that video. I guess it won't transcribe music. Maybe they built that in. I'm not sure. But it's thinking now. I just run the main command. Okay, detected English. Probability 100%. Okay. It's currently 5:35 a.m. So you're building with AI, but now what? Well, according to the data, new timestamp, 41% of you guys want to monetize AI, 26% are business owners leveraging it, 16% build purely out of passion, and the rest of you guys want to use AI to become better employees. Now, I've personally been in every one of those positions, so I get it. Yeah, this is definitely the audio from that video, the text. So when this finishes, it's going to basically put transcription on my desktop here. I guess I'll wait for it to actually finish writing. And that's the basics of the video, guys. From start to finish, GitHub to transcription, which I think is useful. This could be any code in the world. You just use AI to kind of walk you through this and troubleshoot the process, right? So use your common sense, MP4 versus MP3, that kind of thing. These are not like known things, but the more you spend time and actually figure this out, the more it's going to make sense for this project, for the next project. I know a lot of this was just watching me kind of do things you've never seen before. Um, so again, if you guys have any questions, comments, be sure to leave that below. And um, I guess I'll just wait for this to finish, and I'll show you guys. You know, if you guys want to see like a full implementation, like I said, with this on an automatic kind of carousel, a database where it puts all of this together, and you can search for like you know and from there I graduated and was working a full-time job at Goldman Sachs. I don't even know who that is, but basically, I wish I could just plug this automation into ChatGPT. Little did I know, um, AI should be able to grab this information from this video and tell me about it. And so we'll run a small scale of that real quick. Like basically, if I copy and paste all of this into Grok, ChatGPT, and then I ask questions about it, it's going to know. So my whole thought process was, let's do this with a small handful, 50 to 100 videos, upload all of their text in the same niche, and then ask questions. So if you guys would like to see that in a future video, go ahead and leave a like and a comment. Subscribe for future videos. Obviously, hit the bell, that kind of thing. But I'll see you in just a sec. So now this is finished, and I have 770 seconds of this transcript from the video. And basically, the theory is I can put this in a chat, right? Like if I just go to Grok and I paste this in, it's gonna know this transcript now. Um, Way better than if I just like see this is it's gonna know it way better than if I just pasted the link to the YouTube video and it tried to scrape information from the YouTube video. Like it has all of the text it needs to understand the video. So if we did this large scale, we'd be able to ask it more and more intricate questions over a broader scale. So once this is in here, I can ask questions like, um, what's next after AI agents? And hopefully it's going to respond using the transcript you provided gives a solid foundation for thinking about what's next. Short answer, after mastering AI agents, the next step depends on your goals, monetizing your skills, enhancing your business, right? So um, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you want more like this, just like I said, drop a comment and let me know. Until next time.